Well, right now, police say a child is recovering after being hit by a car while getting on the school bus in North Haven.
It happened yesterday morning right near Pool Road and St. John Street. Your reporter, Anna Stansfield, live there this morning. Anna, the community has had a lot to say about this online.
Yeah, that's right. Good morning. It happened right here yesterday morning, and since then it sparked quite a conversation on social media. Some who live in the area say they're concerned to see something like this happen so close to their neighborhood, and the way police responded to those concerns is not something we see every day. The North Haven Police Department posted shortly after it happened, and about 150 people left comments with questions and concerns. Police explained that the driver involved stayed on the scene, cooperated with officers, and was issued an infraction for passing a school bus. Parents in the comments immediately started calling for more action, prompting a second post from police. And that one made just a few hours later. Police spoke candidly about what goes into an investigation like this, also explaining that the driver would have their license taken away too. They went on to say the driver involved is 89 years old, asking the community to have some empathy as they not only deal with the penalties at hand, but also come to terms with being involved in a traumatic event themselves. And in that second post, police also explained that they simply can't include and describe the inner workings of an investigation online. Some in the comments said they understand. Others say they're still looking for more accountability in this case. Now, when it comes to that kid who was hit by the car, police do say they are expected to be okay. I'm your reporter in North Haven, Anna Stansfield, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, Anna, thank you.